I need to earn something income.
Residual.
Residual income.
Perfect. It's perfect.
What did you want to show them next?
Got it.
The garden. Let's go. You want to hold my hand?
I learned this.
Oh, okay. Let's just go up the garden then.
Yeah.
Surprise! I got a third child. It was a big surprise for me and Kate also. And we have a third baby on the way in early November. And so one of my best buddies reached out and says, hey man, like how has your life changed since your first child, your second child, and now your third child on the way? That was a pretty unique question, right? Like, and he was asking specifically, like, financially, how has it changed now that your business has grown? It's very different in a position that you were in 2015 when you had your first baby versus today, right? As your third one's coming along. And yeah, I can give you a little bit of backstory, but 2015, February of 2015 was the first mastermind I had ever attended. And my daughter was born in April of 2015. Very different place in life. So I was 29 at the time. 2014 was the first time I ever made six figures. And going into 2015, you know, in February, 2 months, 60 days before my daughter was born, I was at a mastermind and they told me I needed to hire my first employee and I needed to join that mastermind. And it was essentially about a $65,000, $70,000 decision, which was more than half of what I made the year prior. 2015 was a little bit of a shakeup, and I would definitely say that it was a growth year in a big way. You know, like I never really had that. I always had a drive, but like there was like a seriousness that came once you knew that you're having a baby, and like I need to go and provide, you know, as the father and as the man of the house, felt like I needed to provide for the fam. So really worked my ass off in 2015, got very serious about building out a team, got very serious about mentorship, got very serious about putting myself in the right rooms and surrounding myself with the right people and not just letting anybody influence me and making sure it was the right people influencing me and how I was building my business and making those decisions. So 2015, my daughter's born in April. I hired my first employee in March, by the way. And in the next 10 months, from the time I hired that employee and joined that mastermind, I made $400,000. Tripled my income from the previous year because of a couple of things that I put in place. Built our first home as a family, moved in there, and really put me on a trajectory to have a little bit more success. Fast forward another 2 years, my son Hudson's born in July of 2017. We're birthday buddies, he's actually a day before me. And over the course of those couple of years, I continued to grow my portfolio and realize I was in a business partnership that I shouldn't have been in. It was a little bit more lopsided, and I wanted to kind of be able to spread my wings and really grow. And so over the course of those 2 years, I really got clear on what did I want and what was serving me, was serving my family, and got rid of some of the, I don't know, more negative things that were going on in my life and amplified and really honed in on the positive things that were going on in my life. And so got out of that partnership and started building out my team, started a management company, started a turnkey business. We were flipping about 80 to 100 houses, single family houses a year. And then I got into some multifamily projects that I passively invested in and sponsored loans on over the course of 2015, 16, 17. So my son's born in July of 2017, and it was always a dream of mine to bring my wife home, right? Like she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and it was always like a big thing on the goal list. When Hudson was born in July, I said, hey, you don't need to go back to work. So she took her 3 months of maternity leave and all of her PTO and stuff, and then didn't have to go back to work. And during that time after Hudson was born, we went and rented a house up in upstate New York on Lake Chautauqua. And for 2 weeks, never done this before, but brought my wife's family out for an entire week. And then they rolled out, and then I brought my side of the family in for an entire week and had both families there. And then we were there for the entire 2 weeks period. And that was it was a big pivotal point because, obviously when big life circumstances happen, you get very reflective and you look at what's going on in your life, and you get a little bit different kind of a perspective on things. And I was sitting back one morning having a cup of coffee before anybody else was awake. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm looking at the moonlight shining off of the lake, and the sun's just starting to come up, and I'm realizing like it's a pretty cool spot that we're in, and I'm reviewing my goals on my computer as the sun's coming up, and like setting my goals, looking at my net worth, personal financial statement. I ask myself, like, where's the best use of my time? Like, where am I spending my time? What do I like doing? What do I not like doing? And it like hit me right in between the eyes, and I realized 90% of my wealth had come from these apartments that I was passively investing in and essentially sponsoring loans on and got equity in. And although I was flipping a lot of houses, it wasn't a ton of money. It's not like the margins that you're seeing over the past couple of years in the real estate market. They were very slim margins on $60,000 to $70,000 houses. So we make, somewhere between $5,000 to $15,000 per house. And I realized like that put food on the table, but I also had a lot of overhead and payroll and team and profit share and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't get to keep a lot of that. So the wealth really came from the apartments that I was building, and it was legitimately 10% of my time. 90% of my wealth, 10% of my time. And I thought, dude, I got a team that flips houses. What if we just pivoted? Pivot! What if we just focused on buying more apartments and commercial real estate? So in August of 2017, when I got back from that vacation, I sat down with my team and I said, hey, Nick, who's my director of acquisitions, instead of underwriting houses, you're gonna start underwriting apartments. Matt, who is my project manager, instead of renovating houses, you're gonna start renovating apartments. Marty, who's our dispo guy, I said, hey, instead of selling houses, you're gonna start asset managing apartments. And so it wasn't a huge shift in the team and in the operations, but it was a massive leap in a mental shift from doing small deals into big deals. I realized that doing these bigger deals could build not only a good life for me, but for my entire team. Fast forward, we're another 5.5 years later, and we got another baby girl on the way, due again in mid-November. I just don't understand how this keeps on happening, though. Like I'm trying to figure it out. I'm talking to people. Anyways, that's a conversation for another YouTube video. So we got a baby girl coming, and I'm reflecting on life, right? Like when you have kids, and especially in that toddler age, you got all this time with them, and you're hanging out with them, and you're having fun, and you're going to the zoo, and you're doing these play dates, and they're home all day, every single day, and you think that you have all this unlimited time with your child. And then all of a sudden, my daughter went to kindergarten, and I was like, damn, I don't see, she's gone 5 days a week for 7 to 8 hours a day. And then I only have the evenings with her and the weekends. That was an eye-opener for me about, I don't know, 1.5 years, 2 years ago when she first started school. And so I got very intentional of like how I was spending my time with my little guy, Hudson, doing puzzles, and when he was home, I was trying to be as present as possible. And listen, none of us are perfect, but being intentional, I think, is a big piece of that. And so was a little bit better with that, and realized that like I wasted a lot of time with both of the kids early on because I was out doing business stuff. And what's really neat is like I feel like I got a third chance, right? In order to, now the business is where it is. I've put the right people in place. I put the right processes in place. We have great revenue coming in. Got a big balance sheet, a lot of net worth, and really designed the life that we wanted, right? Like we bought a house down in Charleston on the beach about 3 years ago, moved there full time 2 years ago. We have a house up in the mountains. We still have a house up in Ohio. We've got an island now, like all this crazy stuff that I've checked off the box. And now that Hudson was gonna go into kindergarten, I was gonna be like, all right, hey, let's turn it back on again, and let's hit $250 to $500 million a year in new growth. And then baby happened, baby number 3 happened, and here's what's cool: I can pivot, and and it gives you options, right? Money gives you options, wealth gives you options. You can decide to take a coach flight, or a first class flight, or a private plane. Do you eat a steak, or do you eat a burrito, or do you order pizza? It also gives you options in growing your business or not growing your business. And so it creates a constraint now in a good way where I can say, hey guys, I want to be able to spend the next 3, 4, 5 years full time with my kid and work inside 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. And I'll do that 4 to 5 days a week. And I'll work for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and that's 20 hours a week. Otherwise, I'm hanging out with the fam. I'm hanging out with the new baby, picking up the kids from school, spending all evening with them, spending all weekend with them. And that's the kind of options that money eventually gives you, right? Like I know a lot of the flash and pizzazz and stuff on social media and Instagram is like cars and jets and shit like that, watches. That stuff's cool until you have it, and then you're like, really? Like this was the driving factor for me? And when you put more purpose behind it and realize that having money can actually buy time, and you can hire other people to do your yard work, and you can hire other people to do the house cleaning, you can hire other people to make food, you can hire other people to do random stuff around your laundry and other random stuff around the house, and you realize that it buys time back for you to go and spend time with the people that you love and the people that you care about. And look at the saxophonist is playing right now, really setting the mood, right, for how important and valuable this is. That is the options that really have depth to them and really carry a lot of weight. And so that's what I'm excited about with baby number 3. I'm excited to be able to hang out and really just dedicate time, be around, be there to support Kate, be there to support the baby, do some fun stuff with the baby that I maybe didn't get a chance to do with Penelope and Hudson. And then also be there every hour that Penelope and Hudson are home from school and be around to do fun stuff with them. Take Penelope out on a date and show her what a date should be like. So that way, by the time she gets to the dating age, she knows how a man should treat her, right? Going and hanging out with Hudson, throwing a baseball, and talking about guy stuff, all right? Right? A lot of that revolves around poop and burping right now. and then having being able to go on date nights with Kate and being able to do all those kinds of things. Like that's what I'm excited about. And so talk to the team. Hey guys, what do we need me for? Tim, you need to sponsor loans, right? And give final approval essentially on some of this stuff. And that's it, right? I got the right team, I got the right people, I got the right processes in place where everything kind of runs without me unless we're either buying, selling, or refinancing a deal. So if in those 3 scenarios, I am needed because I'm the one who signs on the loans, but I put myself in a position where I can handle that, and then the team handles raising money, finding deals, underwriting those deals, due diligence on those deals, project management on those deals, property management on those deals, asset management on those deals, and even the dispo side up until signing the docs for the sale, I'm not even needed. So it's a pretty cool position to be in to grow your business and get to this place. So I've been able to do it. I want it for you guys. If you guys aren't part of like Legacy Family, you need to be part of Legacy Family. It's hands down the highest value mastermind in the entire country at one of the lowest price points. Not just for you, but you can bring your team, you can bring your spouse, you can bring whoever. If you have partners or key employees, they can plug in as well. There's an option for that. And just make sure you're in the right rooms. Make sure you're being influenced by the right people who fit your core values. I would look at the leader of an organization and make sure that their values fit what you're looking for, because that leader is going to attract people that are like them. You know, or you could look at people who have been in the organization for, I would say, 3 years or longer. They're the people who fit the culture, who fit the values of that organization, and make sure that you align with them. And if you do, I think that's a great organization that you should look into joining. And so do it for you, right? Do it for your family. Do it for your friends. There's a lot of good stuff that comes from having your financial shit together, right? You gotta have the financial wherewithal, the financial intelligence, be in a position to build wealth, not to go and buy the shiny objects and the material stuff, but to put yourself in a position to buy back time to do the things that you really love.